What's good, everybody? My name is Brandon McCollum, also known as B-McC, and this is Nice Minds. I'm with a very special guest today, my dude, G0ldilock. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, bro. I'm doing real good. How about yourself?
Man, I'm doing good. I'm figuring out my way through this craziness of the last couple years, but I'm doing all right, man. So I became familiar with you through Instagram.
Yeah.
We've been following each other for a while, but I don't really think we've had any sort of like back and forth. But you said that you're interested in getting on the podcast, and then like I, you know, I think I probably checked out your music before because I check everybody out. But when you said you wanted to be on, I checked out your stuff, and I was like, oh damn, have I not heard of this dude before?
Yeah.
How'd you get your start in music? How long you been doing it?
Man, I really started recording music in my junior year. That was like 2015, 2016. I actually started recording music, but I really been around music like my whole life though, honestly. Because even my older brother makes music as well. So that's what really got me started. But it was 2015, 2016 when I really actually started recording myself.
Oh, that's what's up. So you're relatively new then.
Yeah, man.
That's what's up.
Yeah, it's about like my fourth year, fifth year being like actually consistent with it, but it's been fun.
I always get really impressed by people who have said that they've only been doing it, for a short amount of time. Because 'cause I'm going on 20 years at this point, bro.
Really?
2002 was when I had my first show. I started as a rapper as well. Then I also started making beats, like, shortly after I started rapping.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah, I was actually gonna ask you if you needed any beats, cause I would love to throw some stuff your way, bro.
For sure. We definitely hooked that up after this. Yeah, let's get it.
Hell yeah, man. So yeah, I've been doing it for, like, 20 years now, which is crazy, cause I think October of this year will be, 20 years since my first set.
That's big though. That's big.
Yeah, hell yeah.
What made you stay consistent with it?
I wouldn't say that I've been really consistent over the years. I mean, it's always been my dream to make it with music, and it still is. But I've fallen off and gotten on so many times. I mean, so like over, the first like few years, like I put out a project in high school, my senior year, and I was bad, man. I was
Yeah.
bad. So I put out this project, and like I was just clowned around school because I did my first show in front of like 300 people at my school, and it was my senior year, and I was just like clowned for the rest of the year because this was at the beginning of the year. I put out this project. It was terrible. I mean, I got a little bit of traction like with like, a small community of people that would come to my shows, and it was cool.
Yeah.
But I just kind of like after that, I just kind of stayed in the lab, and I just started like making beats and going to shows. So for probably the first like, I mean, it was like 6 years of consistently just staying in my room making beats and going to shows. I didn't put out another
Okay.
project until 2009. So then
Damn.
2009 I put out my album Mr. Nice Guy, and that's when I started like taking it seriously, and that's where I got the name Nice Guy Entertainment. And after that, like I actually like started building a name for myself, and I don't know if this is like 100% true, but I met this girl who was supposedly dating this A&R at Def Jam. And
Yeah,
supposedly my shit got circulated around the Def Jam offices, but
that's fine.
I was just so different that they didn't know what to do with me. They were like,
Right.
"Oh, he's dope, but we don't know what to do with him." And so, I did my thing, and then I met my girlfriend, and when I met her, I was like, "I gotta get my shit together," because she had, like, all her shit together, like, I was just like, not that I wasn't doing anything with my life, but I was working, like, a part-time job. I was just, like, staying in my room making music, like, I didn't have anything going for myself. I didn't have a driver's license. I didn't I just was kinda just, being a bum for a while, and
Yeah.
I finally got a driver's license, got my shit together, and then a couple years roll by. Like, I'm still doing shows, but then I decided to go to IPR. I don't know if you're familiar with IPR.
Yeah, 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 the music school.
Yep, music school. So I started there at like 29, and I had the idea to start Nice Guy Entertainment as a record label. And then so I ran Nice Guy Entertainment for like 5 years. I had like tons of artists. We did tons of shows, kind of built my name through that, just being a producer, and I put out another project and doing that. But then the pandemic kind of shifted gears. Well, my mom getting sick. My mom getting sick in 2018 made me completely shift gears, and the pandemic just kinda threw a wrench and shit. So right now I'm kind of at this weird point where, like, I know I got potential. I mean, I've been making beats for, like, 20 years at this point, so my shit is, like, ready to go.
Yeah, right.
It's there, and I got the connections, but I don't have the I don't know, I just don't have the it's not that I'm not focused, because 'cause I'm focused and I'm still working, but the problem is I think I built so many ideas over the last 20 years that I don't know
Yeah,
which one to put all my eggs in, which basket to put all my eggs
right.
in.
Okay, I see. Yeah, because you got a bunch of options to go with.
Right. So at this point, when my mom passed, I've mentioned this on the podcast a bunch of times. I made my mom a promise that I'd win a Grammy, and my goal is to win a Grammy in 2025, right before I turn 40. Um, so so over the next 3 years, I'm trying to produce like crazy. So
Yeah, man.
like any artist that's hungry, that that what is like ready to go, ready to record to my beats, I'm just like, let's get it.
And that's the thing I'm actually trying to find too, a consistent producer. So we should definitely look up and see if we make some fire together because that'd be hard. That's a huge goal too. I fuck with that vision. That's definitely like a nice goal to set for yourself.
I feel like if and when I get to that point, it's just gonna make the last 20 plus years just like all worth it, like at that point, like all the setbacks and all the hardships and just everything. It'll just be that much more sweet.
Exactly. Hard work pays off, bro. You're definitely gonna reach it. I believe in you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. So how do you find that you stay consistent? Like how do you find the drive to because you put out you know, consistent content. I've noticed, like your Instagram is pretty poppin', and
Yeah.
you got consistent songs on SoundCloud. How do you find that drive to stay consistent?
Honestly, I just like really creating, but it's about like because the creating part is not really. It doesn't become like a challenge for me because it's like something that I actually love to do, and I feel like that'd be the difference in a lot of people. Like you can tell who loves it or who just doing it to do it, but it's like who am I to compare? But for me, I like to just create, so that's just part of my process. If I know I'm gonna be creating, then like I don't really focus on sharing it because it's like at the end of the day, it's gonna get shared at some point. So it's like it just capture the moment and then it kind of be like, damn, okay, this is cool. Like he's doing something cool. But I just like the process of creating, to be real with you.
I think that's what separates a lot of artists is just loving the journey, loving the process, loving what you
Yeah.
do that much, and you don't think about the numbers when you're just busy working and creating.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you're gonna see that increase as much as you're putting in the work. So it's like really that shit comes last. Like it's whatever. But I enjoy it seeing myself like that self evolution. It's like, damn, okay. 2 years ago I was making songs like this, but now I can make like, oh no, that shit's crazy to me. I really fuck with it.
Hell yeah. Did you have a name change, by the way? Like, did you change your stage name?
Yeah. I just changed it going into this year to Goldilocks. That's the one I'm gonna stay with. But it was Tezzy before.
I was like kind of confused because some of the stuff that I saw, you were under Tezzy, and then some of the
Yeah,
stuff it was Goldilock. So I figured because I saw Goldilock on all your shit, so I was like, okay, he's Goldilock now. So
yeah.
that's dope. So why'd you decide the name change?
I look at myself more as like a brand now. So it's like if I want to make a brand, you want to make a brand like unique. And I feel like, damn, you search up Tezzy, like there's gonna be hella shit that pops up for it. But if you're like Goldilocks, it's like, all right, who is that? What is that? It's like something that make people more interested by the name change, rather than having to search to find me and all that shit. So it's like I like it.
That's dope. Was it based on the hair then?
That too, yeah.
Oh, okay, word. That's what's up. Is Tezzy just like is that a play off your real name?
My real name's Cortez, but then like
Okay.
my family and shit calls me Tezzy. But then over time, like my friends and shit start calling me Tez and Tezzy. So it's like I just ran with it.
I just assumed your name was probably Cortez.
Yeah.
That's how I got my name B McC, man, because it was just a nickname growing up.
Yeah.
I think it was like right before I started rapping because everybody just knew, like even before I started rapping, I my love for rap came from like I can't remember a time with like when I didn't listen to rap. I mean, because I'm from Southern California, and 30 years ago, when I was 7 years, 6, 7 years old, I was bumping Dre, dude.
West Coast, bro.
So
Crazy.
so Snoop, Dre, like I was like 7 years old bumping that shit. So like
Yeah.
everybody, like when I moved to Minnesota, like growing up, everybody knew me as like the kid that loved rap because, I went to
Uh,
suburban school. I was like the only kid at the time that I knew that bumped rap. So everybody was everybody else that I knew like at the time was listening to like alternative or like pop punk and shit like that.
yeah.
And one kid came up to me one day, he's like, "Yo, what's good, B McC?" And at first I had no idea what the fuck he was talking about. I was like, B McC, and
Yeah.
he's like, "Brandon McCollum, it's your rap name." And he just said it just like that, and I'm like, "Oh, okay." And it just for some reason it just stuck. I don't even remember how like it followed me through, like the next year or two when I started rapping, and that's how I got my name. And um I feel like that's how a lot of people get their names. It's just how you grew up and shit.
Yeah, most definitely people just go by the nicknames that people call them over throughout their childhood. It's up to you if not really want to stick with it, but I feel like for a beginning it's always nice.
Yep. Yeah, I love the name Goldilock though. That's freaking fresh. Um
Appreciate that.
Hell yeah. So, has the pandemic affected your creativity at all? Has that caused any setbacks for you?
But not so much now, but like in the beginning, it was hard being like, damn, I'm really in the house like 24/7. It was kind of like getting to know myself again. But then it was like after like a few months went by, it was kind of nice because it was like, damn, I'm actually getting to know myself, you know? So then it like became part of the creative process because I knew myself more and like what I like, what I don't like, the sounds I like. So it was like it took a little process, but the beginning was hard for sure.
So did you get back into performing shows that in 2021 then?
Yeah, 2021, I did. I actually hosted my first show myself, and then I closed out the year at Creative Studio for their New Year's show. So I did about like two shows or maybe three during like the actual pandemic in itself. But I did get back to doing shows again.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I used to book and host shows myself. That was kind of what I got known for when I first started Nice Guy Entertainment as a record label. I had shit popping between like 2015 and 2018 with just like that was just what I did. So that's dope that you got to host your own stuff.
Yeah, man, it was an experience. It was an experience for sure.
So who are those creative Minneapolis guys? Like I follow them on Instagram too, but I don't really know. It seems like a cool thing. Is that like it's like a space where they do a bunch of stuff, right?
It's owned by this lady named Liz. Shout out to Liz. She's dope. It's like I would say almost a venue, but not really because they have a studio in the back too as well. You can rent out, and then like they have ones where you can like close out the front of it, and it's like post shows. But they have a photography space, so they kind of do like all around. But yeah, very cool space.
I'll have to go check that out. So what are your ultimate career goals? Like where do you see yourself in the next few years? Like where do you want to get to?
Man, my career goals. Sheesh. Honestly, I just want to get to a point where I'm like, where I can say like this is it, like damn, I finally got able to be like my voice not doesn't really matter, but it's like you can feel like the people around you support you a lot. And then it's like I want to build a team, like I want to build a brand. Like I just want to make like not have to go back and forth with like being Cortez and being Goldie. Because there's the point in your life when you're like balancing the two. Like I can't wait to make the one just like, all right, this is my life now. This is what I'm doing. Just full like business mode. Really get shit on lock.
Yeah, I mean that's basically what I had to do when I started Nice Guy Entertainment because I never knew how to brand B McC. I was like, how do I brand the name B McC? And then when I came up with the name Nice Guy Entertainment, it's just like everything just started clicking for me as far as like the
Flowing, huh?
brand.
That shit was flowing.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, cause my buddy, he ended up designing the logo and, like I said, like we ran it as a label for a while and we got shit popping for a bit. And yeah, it all just kinda clicked. And so that's super dope that you realize that you, wanna do that you wanna just have a consistent brand.
That's one of my biggest goals is really like establishing a brand because like you can be an artist. Being an artist isn't hard, but like being an artist takes you like you have to see that. If you like, you can't just drop music and think like, "Damn, I'm gonna be there one day." It's like, nah, it's more than music. It's deeper than music. The music comes first. Don't get me wrong, but like, it's deeper than music.
That's why a lot of people don't end up making it because they just don't understand that. They don't understand that you have to view yourself as a brand. You have to know how to market, there's so much more that goes into being an artist these days. I mean, especially when you don't have a major label pushing you. So it's
Exactly.
dope. It's dope that you realize that, so early in your career.
Yeah.
Um and I do feel like it'll really take you places because I definitely see that as a, just dope and smart. It's just smart to see yourself as a brand.
Appreciate that.
And speaking of that, so, like, what advice would you give, like, a younger you just starting out, like any younger artist just starting out?
Don't get too caught up in what's like trending. I feel like a lot of people do that and they kind of forget like themselves. But I feel like being the most successful artist is like you being yourself because it's unique. It's like there's already a little baby, there's already a little yachty, there's already a something. So it's like whatever steps they did isn't gonna work for you because like it might or it may not, but like most likely going with yourself is gonna work more than trying to be like somebody else. That's what I would tell my younger self or any younger artist. Just be you, and that it'll work out.
Hell yeah. I mean, and that's something that I feel like I can relate to, and because I never like I when I started rapping, I mean, like I said, like I didn't have a lot of friends that were into hip hop. So like I kind of just started on my own. Like I had like one or two friends that I started with, but like I didn't really, I had like Tupac to look up to, Dre, like Snoop, all my idols or whatever, but I didn't really have um anybody to kind of like model myself after. So I just kind of always did my
Yeah.
own thing, and that's why I was clowned in school because I was like authentically me just right out of the gate.
Hey, you know what? That's so funny because in like high school, when I dropped my first song too, I dropped like two songs in high school, and then like people were like, "Oh, you should make it like this. You should do it like that." Like it was funny because you just hearing all these opinions, but you're so young, so you're like, "Damn, man." But it was like in the long run, it worked out because at the end of the day, people are gonna have their opinions anyway. Like that never stops. So it was like, damn, it was like a tough lesson at the time, but like now that I think about it, it's like funny. It's like, that shit never stops.
That's dope that you realize that too, because I feel like, I mean, even though, like I said, like I, kind of always did my own thing, at the same time, I think over the years, if one thing that I could give my younger self is not listening to opinions and
Yeah,
always being myself no matter what, because I feel like I did kind of let people's opinions shape what I, where I, oh, I see you just as a booking guy. Oh, I see you as a manager. Oh, I see you as this. I see you as that. And the second that I backed up and I'm like, nah, like I'm a producer first and foremost. I'm a lyricist. Like I
yeah.
make content. Like I'm not just this one fucking thing that you label me as.
People gonna try to throw you in that box, but like that shit,
Yep.
like it beats you up. I feel it too. I definitely feel what you're saying. 'Cause that shit definitely gets to you. But at the end of the day, it's like if you realize you're more, then you're gonna do more. So I feel you.
Yep.
I definitely respect you for going out and be like, I do producing, I do creative shit, and I can host and book your ass. So it's like I feel that, bro. You definitely gotta do it because nobody will.
Yeah, exactly. And yes, I mean that is one thing, like everybody will try to force their opinions on what they think you should be doing. Like everybody will do that. And I think it takes like and that's what it takes, man, is just tuning that shit out, just putting your fingers in your ear and being like, "Nah, I don't I respect you, but I don't hear you right now. I'm
Right.
focused on, doing this and being the best that I can be and what I want to do?"
Big facts. That's true. I definitely feel you on that.
We'll cut this a little short, just because I like to do shorter content these days. But do you have any last words for the people?
Last words for the people to any creative out there. I would definitely just say keep pushing, man. Don't worry about the support. Don't worry about people not paying attention because if you love it and you're passionate about it, that shit's definitely gonna get noticed eventually. You just gotta stay dedicated and keep putting out the work, man. That's all that matters.
Wise words, man. Well, bro, thank you, man. It's been great connecting with you.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. Shout out to nice guy ENT, man.